Want to be able to build cool applications like this? To be able to use Python coding, to be able to assemble the codes and have an application that runs like this, or projects, or other things. You want to be able to build code applications. You want to be able to know how to put the codes to know that what comes next for me to be able to build applications. Then you are in the right place. Hi, I'm Nesh, and I'm going to be your instructor in this Python course. So we are in the Python course, Python full course part 3, the part 3 of it, which is the strings in Python. And in the strings in Python, you're going to learn all you need to know about the strings. We have to understand what it means. Also going to learn how to do what, how to quote inside the quotes, to write quotes inside a particular quote to understand how it goes, how to assign a string to a variable, how to write multi-line strings. We're also going to understand slicing strings, string immutability, deleting a string, updating a string, and formatting a string, and more. So this is how you're going to learn to code the right way. In few minutes, just few minutes, you're going to understand all about strings. So keep a like as we continue this class. Just like the video as you watch it. Just keep a like, press the like button. Share with others, share with your classmates, share with others that you know. Just share on every social media platform. You can share it there. You can just do what? Keep a comment in the comment section, because it's going to help us also to know if you're getting it or if you're helping. If you need any personal assistance, just write a comment. Keep a comment for me in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And when you subscribe, do me a favor to press that notification bell. And when you press, click all, so that as we are going to be uploading the next part of this particular video, part 4, part 5, and the rest, and even the projects, running projects, you should be able to be the first person to be able to get the notification. So without being said, let's go enter our PyCharm and understand all about strings. First thing we are understanding is strings in Python. Now somebody will be asking me, what does it mean, strings in Python? A string is just a sequence of characters. So Python treats anything inside a quote, anything you put inside a quote, as a string. Don't worry about it. Don't bother yourself. I'm going to show you practically for you to understand what I'm trying to explain. This includes letters, numbers, and symbols. So in creating a string, strings can be created using either a single quote. You can use a single quote in creating it, or you can use a double quote. So for example, I say hello is the same as hello. Both of them are the same. I can use a single quote, I can use a double quote. And in Python, it reads this whenever it encounters anything, in single quote or double quote, it reads it as a string. And you can display a string literal with a print function that we are going to see, and I'm going to show you how. So now we are now in PyCharm. We are going to continue. As I said hello in this thing. So also have, for example, I say, oh, let me just click. If I say print, if I'm taking this print function, as I said, if I said hello in a single string, hello, and also hello in a double string, print the double quote. So if I print hello, I'm printing hello. Both of them mean the same thing. If I run this code, this piece of code, you're going to see it's going to give me hello, hello. It means the same thing, because just it. So now we are going to be understanding what I meant about quotes inside quotes. This is just a single quote we are seeing. Now the quote inside quotes is going to go like this. Now look at this. Look at this particular statement. Print. So print, I want to write something that is having, for example, if in case I want to write a string, what happened? The advantage of having a double quote, and which is advisable, and this is the right way to write when you're writing in this format. If I'm writing something that is having an apostrophe, for example, I just say let's say it's a hot day. It's a hot day. You get it? So what happened? If I don't give this, if I give a single quote here, it is going to be a problem. But I need to put this, because this is having an apostrophe here, a single quote here. So I don't need to give a single quote here. Because if I run this, for example, I'm just going to take this. Okay, I'm just going to keep this in a single quote. I want to just show you something, so you guys can see. I understand what I'm trying to say. Look at what happened. Can you see when I'm trying to give the single quote here? Look at how it is showing me. Look, it is throwing an error here, because why? It already took this as a string. Then it sidelined this S, and this S is not existing with this particular word. So this partner is like different. You can see the different, right? So he accepted it is like, if I print this, look at what happened. Let me run this code. You see, we are having an error because Python print line by line, right? You see here, it is coming from this last part where we are having it. It is telling us here, look at the output panel. That is where we are finding it. Is saying that is for it. It understands that there's a mistake somewhere. That is why this thing cannot print. It's a undetermined. Is it what? It's a undetermined string, literal. You see, dictated at the line 2. This is line 2, isn't it? That is why we are having the error. You see, the compiler is throwing an error. You see, it's telling that it could not be able to perform the job for us. It couldn't give the output. But now, if I mute this, I'm just going to comment this line, and I'm just going to print here. We are going to have it. It's a hot day, isn't it? It's a hot day, and that is what we want. So this is to make you to understand what it means by quote inside the quote. You get it? And also, there's another way we can be able to do this. For example, I say what? Let's say she is called. She's called Nash. Look at what happened. Look how I'm trying to put this. I'm trying to put this. I'm trying to now give now what? Inside this double quote, I'm given a single quote inside. She's called Nash. And I'm giving a single quote inside. This is a scenario where you can be able to put a quote inside a quote. Meaning that whenever you have to put a quote inside a quote, you need to use the double quote. You don't use what? The single quote. Because that quote is the one surrounding the string. That is what you're supposed to do. You put it in that format. Or if in case, let me show you how you can be able to write the same piece of code. Just look at it. This same piece of code, we can write it like this, even in the single quote. But look at it. Look how I'm going to put it. I'm going to keep in this format, and I'm going to keep this in a, double quote. So can you see the two way I can write this? Let's run this code and see. Let's run the piece of code and see. So this is it. You see, the first one is it's a hot day, and with a single quote. So you see how we can be able to get it. The second one is she is called Nash, and Nash is signifies in a single quote inside. Now she is look. Now I use a single quote in the entire string, but for the name I use a double quote. That's a quote inside a quote. Okay, let's run this piece of code and see. Can you see? It's a hot day. She is called Nash, and she is called Nash. You see how we arrange it? How you can be able to put your code. It depends on how you want the outcome to look like. The way you want your outcome to look like, that is how it is going to be. Hope this is clear. So the next thing we are going to be seeing is assigning a string to a variable. And assigning a string to a variable is just done with a variable name, followed by an equal sign and a string. And that equal sign is also known as a assignment operator. I've explained this in the previous class. If you didn't get it, please try to watch that video, the Python full course part 2. This is the part 3 of it. You should be able to watch it. So for example, let's say we have a variable that is called name. This is a variable that is the variable name, the variable we are giving it. We are giving the variable as what? As name. Let's say I'm giving the variable as name, and then we use the assignment operator. Assignment operator means we are assigning a particular value to this particular variable. So you can now give your variable in either double quote, let's say in either what double quote or in single quote. It's still going to be the same thing. You get it? So that is just what happens. So you can just put it in either double quote or a single quote. We are still going to have the same thing. So this is how you can do what you can be able to assign a variable to this. And then the next thing you need to do is that what you need now to print another particular variable name. For you to be able to get the outcome, if I say print name, then what happened? If I run this, I'll be able to get the output. It's okay. You see, look in the output panel, I'm getting it. I'm mindful of you. Python, remember, both of them are having the same variable name. So Python will definitely print because Python will print line by line. So you encounter the same thing and encounter the same thing. So when I say print name, obviously it is reading here. That is how it does. So you don't expect to have two because the same variable name we are having, the names are the same. So try it yourself. Try to understand. And we can also modify this by, for example, I say print. I use a print function, and I say, okay, I'm just going to give a string here. She is called. She's called, and then out here, I'm just going to give what she's called Nash. name. I'm just going to give for the name. You get it? So if I run this one, say I want to have it in that format. That is why for this first print, this print name, we are having as Nash. That's just it. But now I've just modified it again to fix it. It's called Nash to make it readable and to make it understandable. Right? Isn't it beautiful? So this is how you can assign or this is a string to a variable, a string to a variable. This is how you can assign a string to a variable. So we are using the assignment operator. What is the string? The string is Nash. It can be anything, any letter, anything you want, you're writing. I'm assigning to a particular variable. We already saw variables in the part one, right? If you don't understand what variables are, or how to declare variable, how to create variables, go to the part one of this video, be able to enter this playlist, watch to the end, so you get it. Then go to the part one and watch it, and then help yourself because it's going to help you a lot. And if you're watching and you have not liked the video, please try to like it. If you don't like this broadcast, what are you waiting for? Click on the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. You know, when you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification, that bell icon, because when you hit it and you click on or you tap all, whenever we upload new videos, you're going to be the first person to be able to get it. You get it? So that you shouldn't miss out on any of the classes and you can build your career for free. So next, what are we going to be? The next thing we are going to be seeing, according to our plan for today, what we are doing on string is to be able to do what? The multi-line string. For example, we already know that I can give it, I can give what, I can declare a string. You know, I just have a variable name, and in this name variable, I can assign what I'm assigning strings. For example, Nash. You know, I'm going to have many strings, isn't it? So this is what I'm having. Okay, if I print this, if I say print, say the print name, what happened? If I run this piece of code, I'm going to have it. This is Nash Victor. This is this string, this variable name is holding the string. That is what the variable name is holding, isn't it? But now, I want a situation where I want to have this thing as a multi-line. I don't want to have it on the same line like this. Because when you write something, or otherwise, if you write a particular something, it's going to all appear on that single line in that format. That is not how I want it. I want a situation where I should be able to write a statement and then put it, for example, just an example, you've purchased something and then you have a message that the message will be given back to you. A message that will bring back to you to tell you something, give you a message, or maybe you went to the hospital, you know, and then they'll send a message, an SMS back to you, and you receive that SMS to say, thank you for visiting the hospital today, and we are happy that your health is excellent. Remember to stay connected with your doctors so that you should be able to remain healthy. Get it? But now, you know, they don't always just put it on the one long line, it makes it boring. But when you put it in short lines, it makes it appealing to the eyes. That is how it is, isn't it? Why not do what we are trying to say? Okay, let's just say, I'm just giving a variable, let's say patient. I'm just taking for example, patient. So I'm assigning this particular variable, I'm assigning what? A particular string. And if you want to write multi-line string, you have to use what? Triple double quote. Triple double quote will allow you to write multi-line string. I repeat again. We use the triple double quote to be able to do what? To be able to write multi-line string. For example, so what happened now? If I'm printing now, this is the message this is the string I've written, and this is a multi-line string, and this multi-line string is written in triple quote. So now if I say print, now I want to print. If I'm printing now, what am I printing? I am printing out of the variable. I'm printing. I'm going to say patient. This patient is the variable that is holding the particular string, isn't it? Or everything we've written there. That is multi-line string. So if we run this code, can you see? Hello, John. Thanks for visiting. The hospital is happy with you. Stay connected with your doctors and stay hydrated at all times. Can you see how beautiful it is? This is how you can be able to do what? You can be able to do multi-line. You can be able to write multi-line string in Python just by using what? The triple quote. Are you enjoying Python? Are you enjoying it? Tell me your experience. Tell me how you practice and how you're enjoying it. Keep a comment in the comment section. Type something. Let me get it. I want to understand how you're getting it. Are you understanding? Say there. Let's continue. So the next thing we are going to be seeing is slicing strings in Python. Slicing string means that, for example, we are having a particular string. Now let's say that string we are giving it like this. Let's say cos. Oh, I didn't click. Let's say cos. Cos variable. This cos variable is holding what? This cos variable is holding a particular string. Let's say what a particular string. Let me say Python. Python. Cos. Python for beginners. It's holding a variable. It's holding a particular string Python for beginners. You get it? This particular string pause. This is what it is holding. So for us to be able to do what to be able to slice. This is what slicing the string means to a particular portion of that string. That is what we need. You can return a range of characters by using the slice syntax, and you can specify the start index of how you want it to be, and the end index also separated by what? By a colon. So to return to part of the string, that is how you can do it. So for example, we are going to see, let's say for example, we want to get the characters from position 2 to position 5. And one thing you need to understand is that when you give the last one is always, okay, let me do what I'm saying. Now look at what happened. I want to be able to do what? I want to be able to print. What is it I want to print? I want to slice this particular string. What is happening here? This is it. It's a cos Python for beginners. This is the variable that is holding this particular string Pythons for beginners. Now I want to print. I want to print. I want to get the characters from position number 2. And one thing you need to understand is that this is an array of characters also, right? And in programming, the first character is the 0 index, 1 index, 2. That's how we count the index position. So I'm saying that from 2, I want to get the characters from position number 2 to position number 5. And when you're talking about number 5 position, 5 is not included. That is how it is. You get it? And if I run this, and one thing you need to understand is that the first character has the index 0. Means that P, the index of P is 0. Y is 1. T is 2. That is how it counts. So let's try to run this piece of code and see. You see? So we say what? You see, it has given us as go. Now, ask how did we get this? Now I say position number 2. So this is 0. This is 1 is Y. 2 is what? Is T. So I'm have to count 2, 3, 4, and then 5. This 5 is always 1 less. Means that what is going to be 4. That is how it prints. You get it? That is how it prints. For example, let's say I want to do what? I don't want to slice. Maybe I don't want to give a particular index where I want to go to slice this string, because now slicing for me, I'm going to just have go. Now let's say I want to slice from. Let me say I want to slice from the start. I want to be able to slice the string from the start directly to be able to put it here. So what should I do if I say print cos, the variable name which is cos, and in this cos, what is it that I want to be able to I want to be able to take from the start. What am I saying? I'm saying get the characters from the start position 5, not included. Can you see? 5 not included. So let's run it and you see. Can you see? Get the characters from the beginning, because now it's going to take from the beginning. It's going to get all the characters, but it's not going to from 5 is not included. That is why you see you have Python, because this is P is 0. Look at the output panel. P is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is why it gives a code 5. The last index will not be included. So this is how string slicing is going. You want to slice a string at any position where you're standing. You say you want to slice a particular string to be able to get it. That depends on you how you want to. Because in front of this column is the starting point, and behind the column is the ending point where you want the particular strings to start, and to be able to the slicing to start and to be able to finish. So that depends on you how you want to be able to do it. Now let's say I want to retrieve the characters from index 1 to 3. I want to be able to retrieve characters from index 1 to 3. How am I going to do it? If I say print my variable, that's the variable there. I want to retrieve all the index character from what? From 1 to 3. So how should I write the code? I'm going to give it is 1. And remember I told you that the last ending is always going to be 1 less. So what should I put here? Should it be 3 or 4? Obviously it is 4. 4 means that I'm taking the index character from 1 to 3. So if I run this piece of code, you see that's why we're having this output. Because if you look here, this is 0, this is 1, which is Y, 2, and then 3. That's why we're having this. So this is how you're going to write it if you want to slice it in that format. Let's say I want to also I want to retrieve characters from beginning to index 2. I want to just retrieve the characters from beginning to retrieve the characters from beginning to index 2. What should I do? It is very easy now. This one is pretty easy, right? I guess a lot of you can do this now. Everybody can do this now because it's very easy. I've already shown you. Means you just need to do what? To index 2. That is, I want to retrieve all the characters to index 2. What I just need to do is, well, just need to give the colon. And what am I going to give to index 2 means that it is 3 because it's one less. Isn't it? It's one less. Okay, run the piece of code and see. Can you see? This is 0, 1, 2. So I'm getting it there. Or if in case I want to retrieve the characters from index 3 to the end. So let's say I want to get the characters from index 3 to the end. That is what I want to get. From index 3 means that it is it's pretty easy, right? From index 3 to the end. How is it going to be like? So means that you have to have what? 3. Remember, from index 3 to the end means I don't give any here, means I'm saying I want to take it from that to the end. That is what is going to happen. Can you see? So means I've taken the first 3, which is out. From index 3, I've taken it out, and I'm having from here now, I'm going. That is how it is. So hope this is clear. Then let's move on to the next thing of the okay, the next thing we are going to be seeing to understand is string immutability. What does it mean when we say string immutability? A string is immutable. Strings in Python are immutable. This means that they cannot be changed after they are created. In programming, we know that has happened. When you say a string is immutable, once you have created that particular string, you cannot change it. You get it? It cannot be changed. So if we need to manipulate a string, then we can use the methods like what? Concatenation, slicing, or formatting it to create a new string based on the original string. But directly to say we are going with it like that, it doesn't go. Let's say, for example, I'm just giving I'm giving that variable is name, and this name I'm just going to I just assume this is one name. It's just a string. I'm just taking it like this. It's just a string, okay? It can be anything. You can put it anyhow you want to put it. I'm just assuming. It's just I want just want a name and I want something that is a little bit long. Or you can open it, you can separate it. It's not a problem. So now one thing you need to understand is that trying to change anything about this string, you cannot add, you cannot do anything. Once you've created it. You get it? But there is something that we can be able to do, only like trying to like do other things to manipulate the string with something, but we cannot enter the pattern. Once we have declared it, you cannot enter there to be able to change anything there. I want to change the first character, which is at index what? Index 0, right? Then I want to do what? Yeah. So I want to be able to do, I want to change it to maybe I want to put it to something. Because when I put in this format, it encounter, it knows that it's talking about my index 0 is M. So let's say I want to give it as let's say I want to give it as 9. I want to put the N. You get it? So you see, on commenting this, you see, for us to get it to understand, to see how it goes. Let's just see, this is the way I want to be able to put it. Then let's see if I just print or what. I want to change that first character. Let's put in this format. That's the way I want to change the character to that. Let's see if I say print name. So if I say print name now, you see, let's run the code. You see, it's telling us something. It says, you see, look at it. It's giving us like this. Okay, this is not defined. That is not even the issue. Because it's supposed to, it's going to give an error. One, because number one, this particular index here cannot work. Get it? It cannot work. You cannot change it. So the best thing we can do to fix this thing, because strings are immutable, you cannot change anything once you have written it. You have written it. You cannot change it in there. It's going to give a type error and it's going to throw an error. So the only thing we can do for us to be able to have this, we can be able to maneuver this in a format where how instead of doing that, we can instead create a new string. So for us to be able to create a new string, are there things we can do? Yes, there are things we can be able to do here. A lot we can do here. So instead of that, we can say, let's say I'm just going to say name equals to. Now, what am I going to do? Let me say I'm just going to give that n, this particular n that I gave before. I'm just going to give in this format. And then I'm going to what? I'm just using the concatenation assignment, this thing, operator. And then with the name variable, this name variable, I'm assigning At what position I want to put that. Let's say, okay, let me just say 1. And I want to put in this form as position 1. So if I run this code, look at what happened. Can you see? Can you see? Meaning I'm saying that because when I put 1 means that what? It is 1 less. Means it's 0 position, isn't it? As we just saw from slicing the string. Can you see now I can be able to do what? To change. And when you change it, it does not change the original string. The only thing it does is that it prints a new, it gives you what? It creates a new string. It has just created a new string. It did not change the original string. It just created a new string. That is why we say strings are immutable. Because if a string is immutable, means you cannot change it. That's what it means by strings are immutable. I hope this is clear. Okay, the next thing we are going to be seeing is deleting a string. Deleting a string. How do we delete a string? One thing you need to put in mind is that in Python, it is not possible for you to delete individual characters from a string. You get it? Since strings are immutable, you cannot delete individual characters from that particular string. So, but however, we can delete the entire string variables using what? Using the keyword that is a del keyword. We can be able to use this del keyword and delete the entire string with it. It's a del keyword. Let's say, for example, let me bring it again. Okay, I'm just having this particular string. This is the string we had before, right? Let me just tally. You get it? That is just how it is going to do. So if I say what to delete it, if I just say del, then you need to give the name of the variable that is holding that string. The name of the variable that is holding the string is name. Use the del command to be able to do what? This del keyword to be able to delete a particular string. Hope this is clear. And then the next thing we are going to be seeing is updating a string. Now we've seen how to delete a string, all the other things. Now updating a string. To update a part of a string, you want to update a particular part of a string. We've already seen something that look obviously like that when we're dealing with the string that string is immutable, isn't it? If we want to update a particular part in the string, we need to create a new string. Since strings are what? Immutable. That is what we need to do. Strings are immutable. So, for example, we want to update by creating a new string or by replacing. We use there are different methods we have. We can create a new string, for example. I can just decide to say, okay, I'm creating a new string here. I want to concatenate it. We use the concatenation operator as plus. I explained in the previous classes. If you haven't watched, please try to watch that to understand the various operators as I explained. So now what am I doing? I'm simply passing what? I'm passing now what I want to update in this particular string, and I'm just giving the position. I'm telling if I say 1 means I'm saying that 1 less, isn't it? Like what I said. And if I'm printing the string, I is going to come out. And also, okay. See if I do like this, we'll see it quite, we are going to understand it. We'll see it here, right? This is it here. It's now what? High. So you see, you have replaced M with what? With this high, right? That is what has happened. Let me just collapse this output panel. So now I can also do what? I can also replace a string. Means I can also what? Replace a string. For example, having this particular string that we are having here, I can be able to use the replace method to be able to replace the particular string. Let's say I'm going to a particular string. Now look at what happened. I have what I want to replace. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give what is there, and then give now what I want to replace that particular thing with first. Because you have to give old before the new. So now I'm going to give here, I want to replace my, and you have to give it exactly the way it is. I want to replace my with what? I'm replacing this my with high. You see, you have to give old before new. With high. I'm replacing my with high. So if I print this, look at what happened. You see? Let me see what happened. Oh, let me mute this. Let me close this line because it's what is happening. Because Python reads line by line. So I've just commented this line so it should not affect the output here. So can you see high love? I've replaced what? My with high. Because in Python it reads line by line. That is the thing also. I have just replaced it like that. So now what are we having here? We are having the old one is my, and the new one I'm giving is high. That is why our output is giving us high love. You get it? That is how you can be able to replace. And there are various things you can also do, and I explained that in the previous class. Only not only by replacing, we can use different methods. There are different methods we can be able to use here. This name with this name variable, this we can use. So if you take equal, if you take it the variable dot, if you take dot, you're going to see various things you can do. For example, if I want to change to what? If I want to change it to uppercase, if I take the uppercase method to convert it to uppercase, dot upper means that what? Dot upper, what I want to convert this particular string to uppercase, we are going to be able to do it. You should be able to do that, to be able to convert to uppercase. And if you want to convert to what lowercase, we are able to go into do. So these are the methods here. The methods are so many. You can be able to do that. In the previous class, I explained detailedly about this. About this, I explained detailedly. If you take that particular name, you put a dot in front, you're going to find all the, you can say count to count the letters, to find a particular string in that particular thing, capitalize it. Case for everything you want to do. Once you put a dot in front of that variable, it is going to you can take any method that you want to do and be able to get your answers and get the output, your desired output the way you want. So finally, we're coming to almost the last thing of the day. So we are finally coming to almost the last thing of the day, which is formatting strings. One thing you need to understand is that in Python, Python provides several ways in which we can include variables into our word, into inside a string. It provides various ways using the F string. When we talk about formatting string, there are two ways we are going to see. We are going to be seeing the F strings, which was the simplest and most preferred way to format string is by using what the string that we use. We are going to see. I'm going to do an example for both, and also we can be able to see what we can also be using what the format function. We can use the F string in order when we want to format string. We are writing formatted string. We are doing formatted string in Python. We can use what the F string, and we can also use what the formatted function, the format function. But the F string is the most highly used and is very, very simple to use. But we are going to see both of it now. We want to understand how we should be able to do that because it is something that is very, very beautiful. Let's say, for example, let's say these users, I'm having information about the patient I want to give. Let's say I have to take down the name of this patient. Let's say the name of this patient, the name of this patient is what? Let's say the name of this patient is Vera. And then I need to take the age of this patient. This age of this patient is what? This age of this patient, because it's an integer value, let's say 23. So the patient is 23 years old. And then because I want a situation where when I print this, I should see on the same line, it should give me name, Vera, age, 23. That is how it should give me. That's how it is in the real life, right? When you go to the hospital, you take a hospital book, you see in a straight line, you find all those things because they are formatted. Like how you go into school or all the stuff, no, not be having it after the order, like what I'm saying is we'll not be having like this. Let's say print. I don't want to have it in this format. Then I'll just have it like this. I don't want to have it like this. You get it? Or print name. You see, this format is just going to give me a Vera 23, isn't it? But I don't want in this format. I want to use the format string. The formatted string. That is what I want to do. I want to be able to use the formatted string. I'm just going to comment this line. Let's comment that line so that it shouldn't be available for us to use. So I've commented the line. So what I want is that I want to use the formatted string. And for us to be able to use that formatted string, how should we put this? So now this is how we can do it. We say print. So print, instead of print here, I'm having the F, because the F, this is F format string. So what am I having here? The name. So I'm giving it now in a nice way. I said name. I'm going to give the name. Then in a double curly brace, I'm going to specify what the name, I'm going to specify the name variable, name. So it's going to pick that name variable, it's going to pick the name. Come out of it and give a comma. And this comma, after now, I'm going to write what the H. The way I want it to appear when I print it, because what I'm doing is how it's going to appear when I print it. You get it? So use again the curly brace. You can use now what? The curly brace again. You're going to now give for the variable H. Remember this. This name and this age are these variable names here because they are holding these values. So if you spell it wrongly or give it wrongly, then you're going to have your program is going to throw an error. So you need to be able to make sure that you've given everything correctly. Okay, that's it. So this is how we are supposed to write it. And when I write it in this format, is it easy for me if I print this now? Look at what happens. Can you see? Name is Vera, comma, age is 23. That is how it is going to come out. And this is beautiful, right? So this is one way we can use the format string. And I even used it also in the previous class. In the previous class, when I was explaining a part of string also, I used it also, and I used it in another way that I showed directly. You can just go without this, but this is the simplest you can go to understand it. And then also coming now, using now, doing this, let's do it now using what? Using the format function. We're going to use the format function to go to do another way we can go to format the. Okay, so coming down now. Now what happened? Let's say names variable equal to. Now I'm just giving. Yeah, let me just say. Okay, my name. My name is. So my name is. Now I didn't specify. So I said my name is Dash and I am dash years old. You get it? Now I've written in this format. I'm dash years old. But if you look at it now, what is the thing that is missing here? I'm taking the format function now. This format function, I'm passing in here now the parameters, these two arguments, these two parameters, I'm passing them inside this format function. So I'm just going to say, if it is a name, we know very well that it's a string. Say it's Nash. Nash. And then the next thing you need to do what? I'm just giving a comma. Oh, my name is Nash. My name is, put it, this is how we use the format function. My name is, I didn't give it, and I am dash years old. So then we put with the format function. This is how you have to write it. The arguments, I'm passing two arguments because I've specified here. So it's Nash, and the other one is an integer value that I'm passing. Then I'm printing the name. Let's run this code and see. Now click on run. You see, my name is Nash, and I am 26 years old. I hope this is clear. So thank you for staying to go through this recording, to go through this video. Thank you for watching till the end. Please don't forget to keep a like in this video, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification bell. And keep your comment in the comment section because we are a team, you know. I want to know how you did yours, how you're doing, because when you understand these basics, it's going to help you to be able to build your own project at the end, to understand the language clearly and understandable. So that is it, guys.